Hello everyone, this is going to be a tutorial for this navy crochet top you can see right here. First, we are going to make the cups. To do that, we're going to make a square and then crochet around the two sides of the square. So first, I'm going to chain 35 and then I chain one more as a turning stitch. You can chain more or less depending on how big you want the cup to be. Also, if you're using a bigger sized yarn, then I would definitely recommend chaining less. You just have to see how big you want your cup to be. So for example, if you're chaining 25, then chain one more as a turning stitch and do 24 more rows, so you have 25 rows in total, and then do 25 more rows on the two sides of the square. So here you can see that I already did my chains, and now I'm working on doing the 34 single crochet rows. Here I have the square done, and now we're just going to technically do one more row of single crochet. At the end of the row, we are going to single crochet 2 times in the last stitch. Then we are going to single crochet in every stitch on the side row. At the end of this row, we're just going to turn our work and repeat the same thing for 34 more rows. Now I'm going to start working on the strap that I'm going to tie on my waist. I'm going to start with chaining 160, but you can also again do less or more chains depending on how you want your strap to look like. Now we're going to single crochet the chain across both of the cups. Here you can see how I add on the second cup after crocheting in the first cup. Now again, I'm gonna crochet 160 chains, but I'm also gonna do one more as a turning stitch and then just single crochet in all stitches. Now I'm gonna start working on the flower pattern. Here you can see that I'm working on the original top, but later you can see just a different version with thicker yarn, so you can actually see what's going on. So we're gonna begin working the flower pattern into the strap, as you can see right here. I'm going to start working my flower pattern in 22 stitches from the cups. I'm going to make 16 flowers in the first row. So each flower is 11 stitches. So for example, if you want to make 10 flowers, you time 10 by 11 and then add on 3 stitches on one side and 4 on the other. So 16 times 11 is 176, plus the 7 stitches on the sides is 183, and we're gonna count one more stitch which is in between the cups. So we need 184 stitches, and because each cup is 70 stitches, we only have 140. So we need 44 more stitches, which is why we're starting 22 stitches before the cups. First, we are going to insert our yarn like this. Then we are going to chain 5. Then we're going to skip 2 stitches and treble crochet or triple crochet into the 3rd stitch. Then we are going to chain 5 more and treble crochet into that same stitch we just did. Now we are going to chain 4 and then we're going to do 2 unfinished trebles into the 1st chain. Now we are going to skip 2 stitches and do 3 unfinished trebles into the 3rd stitch. Now we are going to skip 4 stitches and do 3 unfinished trebles into the 5th stitch. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through all 9 stitches on the hook. Then we're going to chain 1 and pull tight. Now we are going to chain 4 again, then do 2 unfinished trebles into the connecting stitch. Now we are going to yarn over, pull through all, and chain 1 and pull tight. Now I'm going to skip 2 stitches and do a treble crochet into the 3rd. Then I'm going to chain 5 more and do another treble crochet in that same stitch. Now after repeating this, I got to the end of the row and it looks like this. Then I'm going to turn and start the 2nd row. So here I'm going to do 9 chains and then I'm going to single crochet into that free space over there. Now I'm going to do 5 more chains and start working on the flower. So I'm going to do 3 unfinished trebles into that connecting stitch. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all and chain 1 and pull tight. Then we're going to chain 5 more and do another petal just like that. Now I'm going to chain 5 again and do a single crochet into the free space. So here is the end of the row, and I'm going to do a treble crochet into the 4th stitch counting from the bottom. I'm going to start my next row with 8 chains, and this time we're going to start the flower on these 8 chains. So we're going to do 2 unfinished trebles into the 4th stitch counting from the hook. Now we are going to do 3 unfinished trebles into the middle of those 5 chains. Now we are going to do 3 more unfinished treble crochets into the next center of the 5 chains. Now we're going to yarn over, pull through all the stitches, then chain 1 and pull tight. Now again we're going to do 4 more chains and do 2 unfinished trebles into that connecting stitch. Now we're going to yarn over, pull through all, and chain 1 and pull tight. Now we're going to do a treble crochet into the middle of those 5 chains. Here you can see me struggling because I'm trying to get into the both of those loops, if that makes sense, because that makes the project just a little bit neater. Now at the end of the row, we're going to treble crochet into the 4th stitch counting from the bottom. Now we're going to turn and start the next row with chaining 5. Now again we are going to do 3 unfinished trebles into that connecting stitch. After we're going to yarn over and pull through all, chain 1 and pull tight. Now we are going to chain 5 and repeat the same process as we did for the previous petal. Now we are going to chain 5 again and just do a single crochet into that free space and repeat the process until the end of the row. Here at the end of the row, I'm going to chain 1 and then treble crochet into that stitch that's closest to the flower. Now all you have to do is turn your work and just repeat the same things that you did in the first row. So here I'm chaining 5, and the only difference from the first row is that you're not going to be working into double crochets or single crochets as we did, but you're going to be working into those chain 5 spaces. So now the last thing I'm going to do is add on the straps that we're going to be tying around our neck. So here you're going to see how I insert the yarn, and then I kind of just do one chain and single crochet into the stitches that are next to it, and yeah, then I just kind of do 2 single crochet rows until I have the length that I want. You can also just chain how long you want your strap to be and then turn and do single crochets back, but I just find that this method that I'm using right here looks better. So that's gonna be it for this tutorial, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.